And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Daytona's National Speedway as we get ready here for qualifying. And already some drivers coming off. I saw Harrison Langford. Whoa, look how Shaun Gallighan getting in the back of somebody there. Close call. That was Tanner Sullivan, I think. Let's jump to the 60. This is Mobil1 Cup Series qualifying here for our Daytona race that's going to be coming up. The drive for COPD 300. As we are looking right now at the Ford Mustang number 60 of rookie Harrison Langford. Harrison Langford going to be making his debut in all three series. And he is going to be the first car on track here today. That Ford Mustang out of Roush Fenway Racing. They're still looking into getting more sponsorship for that machine. Right now, the only sponsorship they've been able to secure is Red Bull. They'll be seeing if maybe they can get a few other sponsorships on board. I hear they're trying to get Scott's and maybe some other ones that they'll be able to run during the course of the season. But he's going to be the first driver we're going to be keeping an eye on as far as timed laps here today. A few other drivers coming onto the racetrack. I see Kyle Matthews there. I see Tryfon Reed coming on the track. And during the course of this race, we're going to try to kind of give you a preview of all these drivers as quickly as we can, as well as keep an eye on who's going to be fastest on track. Remember, this is going to be similar to the Oreo Truck Series qualifying race, where whoever ends up having the fastest time today will start on the pole position for the drive for COPD 300. The only series that has anything different than that is the Snickers Cup Series, where in that qualifying session we will only determine the front row, and then third place on back is going to be determined by the Gatorade duels that will take place. A few more drivers coming on track. I saw Deanna Shelton coming on track. I thought I saw the 12 machine of Joshua Michaels. I may have been mistaken. Harrison Langford just turned a 48.133, but I have a feeling this next lap's going to be better. Wait a minute, he's got to get around the Tweenix machine of James McLeod. Looks like he's going to. Anthony McCurry back there in the Audi, which will be making its debut here this season in the Mobil1 Cup Series. We'll get to all that in a moment. Just want to see here what the first official full-timed lap from the first driver on track is going to be. And Harrison Langford's going to turn... Oh, that was actually a slower lap. Boy, I thought it was going to be faster. Apparently not. Alright, let's jump back, find the rest of these drivers, introduce them to you. There's James McLeod making his debut for Tweenix. Now, James McLeod was the runner-up driver in the Mobil1 Cup Series in Season 6. Ended up losing out to Austin LaPlante in a 5-lap shootout at Zenjoltis. But he's coming in here now with the new Tweenix team. It's himself, as well as Dylan Poteet and Sean Henley this season. New sponsorship, new number on that number 51 machine. We'll see how he does. Underneath him comes Anthony McCurry. That ride looks very familiar if you follow the Snickers Cup Series, but nope, this is Mobil1 Cup Series. They've carried their Kyotech Racing stables down here to the Mobil1 Cup Series, and Anthony just turned the fastest lap of the race. Well, not anymore. It was the fastest. But he's driving an Audi. Audi made their debut in the Snickers Cup Series back in Season 6. They're making their debut here in the Mobil1 Cup Series here in Season 7. As just going underneath him is Cassandra Renzi. Now, Cassandra Renzi actually was a last-minute replacement into this number 31 machine. And I believe she ended up replacing Andrea Eriksson, if I remember correctly. And we'll see how Cassandra does here. She's making her debut for Turner Scott Motorsports. That now a Turner machine in the 31 due to the fact that James Silverfox is now joined Turner Motorsports as well over in the 34. Going underneath of rookie Ian Dutta. Dutta going to be making his debut in both Mobil and Snickers Cup Series competition in the NNSCRA. And we'll see how he does. He's about to get a challenge here. That's Andy Timmons. Now, Timmons ended up impressing his team owner, Cole Daly, so much with his rookie season in the Truck Series in Season 6. They moved him up here to the Mobil1 Cup Series, and we'll see how Andy Timmons does. We'll see if he can bring the same kind of rookie sensationism that he brought in the Oreo Truck Series here into the Mobil1 Cup Series. He was up there battling for the Oreo Truck Series Rookie of the Year title in Season 6. Right behind him, Luke Walker in the 2. Been a long time since we've seen Luke here in the Mobil1 Cup Series, and he's got himself a good ride here. That ride went to victory lane last season with Charles Jackson here at this very track. It was actually the summer race, but it was here at Daytona. Tanner Sullivan in the number 20 out of Joe Gibbs Racing. He's a rookie this season, and Tanner's actually, I think he's going all Joe Gibbs. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's in the Snickers Cup Series. We'll find out. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's driving the 18 in the Truck Series and driving the 20 machine here in Mobil1 Cup Series competition. Right behind him, another driver making his debut, Kyle Matthews, as Shaun Gallighan peels off, come down pit road, make a pit stop. The 89 makes its return to the Mobil1 Cup Series, and Kyle Matthews will be the driver tabbed to drive that machine. Bob Jones, the NNSCRA Season 6 Mobil1 Cup Series Rookie of the Year. Now moving over here to the number 38 Shell machine, as he's currently 8th fastest on the racetrack. Bob Jones ended up having one win last season, finished 14th in overall points, and took the Rookie of the Year honors rather easily in the season finale at Zenjoltis. So we can say I think he's pretty much got himself well established as far as his ability here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. We'll see how he does here in his second full-time season. Lyndon Wright makes his return to the Mobil1 Cup Series, now going to be driving the number 43 Ford Mustang. Lyndon Wright ended up driving only in the Oreo Truck Series last season. The last ride, if you guys remember, that he drove here in the Mobil1 Cup Series was the number 81 National Guard Chevy Camaro. Right behind him, making its debut, the number 3 Chevrolet out of Michael Norman Motorsports, Deanna Shelton. She did not want this ride at all revealed until this season began. And there it is. There's the new number 3 machine. Breast Cancer Awareness, the sponsor on that car. Plenty more sponsors to come during the course of the season. Shelton was a Triple Crown winner last season. Ended up having a Mobil1 Cup Series win. If I remember correctly, I think it came at the road course of Watkins Glen. And Deanna, in her limited number of runs, finished 41st in overall standings. Right behind her is Cody Lamas. He's now got a full-time ride. He's in the 77 machine. Cody Lamas, I don't remember if he actually raced. Yes, he did. Yeah, last season he did race. He was 43rd in points in a limited number of races. But now a good car here, the number 77 machine, sponsored by Mobil1 here at Daytona. We'll see how he does. And there was quite a log jam back here when I think Luke Walker tried to come back on track. There's Sean Henley, the new revamped 69 machine out of Tweenix Racing. He, Dylan Poteet, and James McLeod, a 3-car team for Tweenix. Henley ended up having a fairly good season in the Mobil1 Cup Series last season. He did make the chase. He had a win. 11th in points, though. He didn't really, after the chase began, he didn't really make strides towards picking up a Mobil1 Cup Series championship, but we'll see what he can do, as he and his teammate Dylan Poteet both ended up getting Tweenix cars into the chase for the championship. Levi McIntyre, we ended up seeing him in the Oreo Truck Series qualifying. He's here in Mobil1 Cup Series as well, and we'll see him in Snickers Cup Series qualifying too. Driving the number 99 this season. That ride left vacant by Emilio Navarrete, but that ride did actually make the chase for the championship last season and had a victory at a restricted plate track. It was Talladega Super Speedway. Behind him, that's going to be Kyle Corbett, now in a full-time ride. Corbett came in to replace, I believe it was Mason Wood in the 4 in Season 6. During the span of that time, Kyle Corbett did not have a victory, but Corbett did finish 40th in points, running a limited schedule. Joshua Collard ended up making the chase for the championship last season, back in the number 9, which he was able to do it with, now with Black & Decker, a sponsorship with that machine. And Joshua Collard ended up finishing 13th in the chase stands. It was dead last, but still made the chase nonetheless, and he'll look to do the same kind of a thing here in Season 7. There is the defending champion. Different ride, but the same guy, Austin LaPlante. Now driving for Roush Fenway Racing in the number 6 machine. LaPlante going to be trying to make strides towards his second Mobil1 Cup Series championship. It would actually be his second straight if he's able to pull it off, and right now, 7th fastest for the defending champ. at the current moment. Just ahead of him, Zach Campbell makes his return to the Mobil1 Cup Series. Zach Campbell, I'm trying to remember what ride he drove, and I almost think it was the number 97 machine out of Nemco Motorsports. And that, I believe, was all the way back in Season 4. But right now, he actually, amazingly enough, is the fastest on the racetrack. A 45.484 is what he's run so far, and he's actually the one who would start on the pole position if all remains as it is. Oh, some drivers must be coming to pit road. Everybody's starting to move up. No, nobody's got to pit road, but the pole sitter for the race just hit the wall. As we're looking at James Silverfox. James Silverfox kind of carrying over what he's driving in the Truck Series race. He's driving a Turner Motorsports machine, sponsored by Arrowhead. Silverfox ended up racing 2 seasons in his single-car team, the number 31 Camaro, sponsored by Transformers, now racing side-by-side with his new teammate, Dylan Young, as he'll be driving that 34 machine here. That's actually the ride that James McLeod drove in Season 6, finished runner-up in the standings. Silverfox, last season, 2-time winner, 6th in overall standings, and his Turner Motorsports teammate, Dylan Young, also was in the chase for the championship. He had a win and finished 5th in the overall chase standings. Sean Henley coming to pit road, so too is Austin LaPlante and Zach Campbell. As we look at George Roque, George Roque was a former winner last season. Drove the 33 at that time for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Finished 29th in points. Now driving the number 7 full-time out of Junior Motorsports. And tell you what, George Roque, he had some really, really good runs last season. But due to the fact that he came in mid-season replacing, I think it was Jake Williams at that time, he was not able to get himself up there in the hunt for the championship, and he's actually driving a ride that actually did make the chase too with Danny Wells. Jump back here, there must be a few stragglers back here or something. Oh no, we got a second pack of cars here, being led by Drew Austin, who'll make his return here to the Mobil1 Cup Series. We did see Drew Austin in Season 6, that was in the All-Star race when he returned in the 44. But in Season 5, he had a win at Homestead Miami Speedway. That's what qualified him into the Season 6 All-Star race. But he did not have a full-time ride in Season 6. He does here in Season 7, driving the 54 machine, which did go to victory lane with Eric Burton last season. I believe it was at Riki Raceway. Right behind him, Charles Jackson. Now, Jackson drove the 2 machine last season, now moves over here to Junior Motorsports and the number 5 machine, and we'll see how he does. He got his teammate right behind him. Well, he did. Jackson actually was a former winner at Daytona last season, and he actually finished 15th in overall standings, 2nd out of the non-chasers in overall points. Zachary Robinson moved underneath him. Zachary making his debut here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Behind him, Charles Sanford. Now, Sanford drove the number 40 machine last season, now moves over to Joe Gibbs Racing. Sanford was 16th in overall standings last season, but no wins. Sanford, I talked with him, and he said that they had a great season. They want to do the same thing, but they want to get to victory lane. Sanford, during the entire course of Season 6, only had 1 victory, and that came in the Truck Series event at Pocono. Behind him, Henry Nova. Now, we saw Nova sit on the pole position for the Daytona 500 in Season 6 in the Snickers Cup Series. This is the only series where he has actually made his return. We actually saw him in the Sprint Unlimited here last night in the Snickers Cup Series event in a 1-race deal. He's a rookie here in the Mobil1 Cup Series, but we'll see how he does. Apparently they decided he wanted to move down a class and see if he could get a little bit better in his racing style before maybe making his return to the Snickers Cup Series in Season 8. And there's the ride that actually won Rookie of the Year honors when Bob Jones drove it last season, but Chris Washer makes his debut here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Chris Washer, we know what he can do in Snickers Cup. We'll see what he can do here in Mobil1 Cup Series competition. Currently 23rd fastest right now is Chris Washer and the 14 machine. Well, it looks like Zach Campbell was knocked off of the front row for the Drive for COPD 300. As there's Dylan Poteet being drafted by Jacob Rogers. Jacob Lawler there. There's Madison Sieber, Ralph Mason, Trent Dunham with a new revamped paint scheme on his number 8 is there. The 12 machine is there of Joshua Michaels. I see the 22 of Daniel Day back there. And practice is, I think, over. I think it is, yes. And Ralph Mason's the fastest car. Ralph Mason looks like he will start on the pole position for the drive for COPD 300. Harrison Langford. And this is actually surprising because a lot of times we've seen at Daytona, the first car out actually does not start well for whatever race they're trying to qualify for. Harrison Langford actually turned back that jinx, if you will. He looks like he's going to start on the outside of the front row. Joshua Michaels third. Fourth place, Cassandra Renzi. Fifth place looks like it will be Andy Timmons with James McLeod in sixth. Seventh place will be Zach Campbell. Daniel Day eighth. Ninth place Wolfgang Mason. And 10th place Dylan Young. So wow, quite a spread of different drivers up here at the front of the field. And Ralph Mason, not really known for starting up front, is actually going to start up front for the drive for COPD 300. Yes, indeed. It is official. Ralph Mason will start on the pole position. And how about Harrison Langford in his rookie debut will start on the front row. We gave you the top 10. Tryfon Reed is going to be 11th, Collard in 12th, Silverfox in 13th. Defending champ LaPlante will be in 14th, and 15th was Luke Walker. The rest of the top 20 were Henley, McIntyre, Roke, Corbett, and Anthony McCrory. And all these other guys were actually guys that were back in a pack all by themselves. Charles Jackson, Charles Sanford, Henry Nova, Chris Washer, Zachary Robinson, and Drew Austin. They were all in a pack on their own. They will be 21st through 26th. Zach Rogers, he's going to be in 27th. Kyle Matthews, 28th. I know there's a few drivers that we actually didn't talk about, and I apologize for that. Bob Jones, or Tanya Sullivan, I should say, he's going to be 29th. Bob Jones, 30th. Madison Sieber, making her debut here in the Mobil1 Cup Series, 31st fastest. Jacob Lawler was 32nd. Cody Lamas in 33rd. And I'm sorry, I think I said Deanna Shelton. I meant to say Jessica Shelton. I gotta remember that. 34th place, Shaun Gallighan, a four-time winner last season, and actually defending race winner of this event. 35th fastest. Not exactly a good day for him. He spent a majority of his time on pit road, I think. Lyndon Wright was 36th. Dylan Schwallenberg, didn't talk about him hardly at all. I saw him coming onto pit road after qualifying was almost over. He was 37th fastest. Ian Dutta, 38th. Jake Cole, never talked about him. He was 39th fastest. Trent Dunham, we just saw him at the tail end of this qualifying session. He was 40th fastest. He's a former winner of this event as well, as I recall. Jake Rogers, 41st place for him. And Dylan Poteet was actually the slowest car on track today by only 1/1000th of a second behind Jake Rogers, but he was 42nd fastest here today. So quite a spread out between all the teammates and everything here. Several drivers out of Michael Norman Motorsports all spread out. Several drivers out of Tweenix Racing all spread out. Several drivers out of Turner Motorsports all spread out. Didn't see a lot of teammates working with each other here today during this qualifying session. But Ralph Mason will start on the pole position for the drive for COPD 300. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We still got Snickers Cup Series qualifying coming, where we will determine who's going to start first and second for that race. Everything else then is going to be left up to the Gatorade Duels, but we hope you will be tuning in for those. If you enjoyed this qualifying session, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. Here comes everything you're actually looking at your official results here and your qualifying results for the race. That's where the drivers will be starting for the driver for COPD 300 at Daytona. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.